In today's video, we went in CMG Superdome Speed Bonanza, and you guys are going to see later on in the video, we caused almost everyone that we played against to rage quit because of how hard I outplayed them. In this arena, we play a very unique strategy that is very flashy to watch and requires lots of micro, which I'm sure you guys will like to see. So yeah, no stalling anymore, let's get right into it. Alright, and here's our first opponent, LL Scout. So this is gonna be a post-commentary video. I know it's not live commentary, cringe, but yeah. Notice here how we're top 16 global and top 8 prestige. This matters a fair amount. LL Scout's press and global rank are pretty normal looking. They're in the top 100s. It's fair enough. More like top 200, but we move. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be post commentary, not live commentary. The reason for that is simply because if I play Speed Bonanza with my mic on, it's going to be a lot of tapping ASMR. I'm supposed to get a new mic like soon. I don't exactly know when, but I'm supposed to get one soon. Hopefully by next month you guys get a Speed Bonanza video without me like having to post comment because of terrible mic sounds, which I'm gonna get rid of eventually, but until then, right? So here a lot of things have already happened, which I'm going to try to explain as fast as possible. So we got Heliform Cobra here. This is a strategy we're going to be running with genetically enhanced crops, lightning, eco nerf. The reason for genetically enhanced crops is right here. It's to generate a ton of money for our bananas to afford our heli as soon as possible. And because it's Bonanza right here, he's already on 1 life. Oh my god. Well, he almost died. And yeah, the reason for that is that we want to micro our helis just like you saw right here because it's Bonanza and we get double the money. So microing heli crates actually makes us a ton of money, which is the fastest way to earn money in the entire game mode. And here he's only on 1 life, so he's forced to Glowstorm super early, and somehow he doesn't die. I would have thought that he died there, but he didn't. So we keep microing helis. Of course, lightning is for the early game to defend properly and greed as much as possible. And then eco nerf is to drain our opponent. And here, since he's on 1 life, I just decide, okay, I'll send yellows since he's off Glowstorm. And because of that, we end up taking the victory. So GG's, let's move on to the next one. Alright, here's Killhog99. So this is already a more like average looking opponent. We're on Mountain Pass. He doesn't have a lot of medallions, not as many as me at least. He has a fair amount of games played though, so he has some experience, so that's pretty good. I guess we're gonna see what this guy can do against us. And yeah, I guess that's the gist of the strategy explained. As you saw right there, of course, Heli and Farm are to get money as fast as possible to funnel the offensive push and just like the offensive power of the Cobra in general. So yeah, that's why it's our third tower. Basically, the goal is to get some early kills on our opponents by microing heli super fast, getting a ton of like money from the heli ability that we micro and that we afford as soon as possible using lightning, genetically enhanced crops, and farms. And of course, you have eco nerf to make sure that they have as little money as possible to defend the strongest rushes that you can send at like the earliest possible times. So that's why the strategy like all works that well. And here he has eco choke, so we make sure to sell our farmers so that we can like get all of these bananas full price, because of course if we collected them under eco choke they would give us absolutely nothing and we'd lose out on a ton of money. So yeah, here we do afford the heli micro, and I'm sorry, the heli micro is not that impressive. I'm missing abilities, I'm choking a fair amount, it's not that clean, but you know what, it's fine. We're picking up the pace a little bit. It's not like the best heli micro you've ever seen by far, because I've literally done better earlier, but you know what, it's okay. We of course make sure that we don't collect that last heli crate by selling our farmer and then building it back up, and then of course we pre-place helis to make microing easier on us after the eco choke expires, while it gives us nothing. Gotta make sure to like multitask. You can't ever like sit around doing nothing in Speed Bonanza. There are moments where you're forced to, but it's insanely rare after the early game. So yeah, here we're building up Cobras to send him leads, make sure that he has not like infinite money to like greed eco, because he's running an eco strategy with tag village here. And basically our plan from then on is to send ZMGs as fast as possible and as many as possible. So yeah, here we just like build up factories, and he reveals that he has Ninja, which is a really bad third because group CMGs are gonna like destroy this thing, so I'm not worried in the slightest. We still have one more eco-nerf as well, which I definitely plan to make use of, and here I just make a bit more money for a bit more heli micro before finally getting to sending the UMGs, and now we're just looking to send as many of them as humanly possible. So we're just going to micro helis on top of the money our farm makes. We have an eco nerf, so might as well use it. And here I think is probably going to be the first rage quit of today's video. Way more comment later, just wait and see, but you're gonna see so many more rage quits. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut those out like to 0 seconds. There you go, I got the win. We can move on to the next game. GG's to Killhog99. So yeah, we got LL Scout again here on Zen Garden this time around. So Zen Garden, definitely a very, very short map where Heli Farm Cobra is the only thing that you can realistically play. Because if you don't play that, like if you play something passive with Ace, you're just going to end up dying either to an early rush or to ZMGs if you run something like even Heli Ace and like you make a ton of money early game. Like ZMGs are still going to kill you because of how short the map is. You just have 0 time to like manage making money and cheesing at the same time. So yeah, here we do make sure to lightning. After spinning the lightning around, it does absolutely nothing, but it looks cool on recording, so you know, that's why I do it. Here I'm just going to genetically enhance crops to plantations as usual, which is the most optimal time to do it by far. You then build a downdraft into waiting to get 2.5k and finally selling them both into early micro. Now, granted, this is my left side, so my micro is a bit weaker than the right side. The difference is not big, but there is a difference, which I'm sure you guys might end up noticing later on in this video. I'm still trying my best though to like micro heli abilities to a nice degree. I'm also sending a ton of black balloons because those are like gonna get in the way eventually if he doesn't do anything about them. And here he team tower stuns, so I make sure that I have lightning, but I know that I'm okay because I have enough life to spare. And guess what? The blacks that we've been sending this whole time killed him, so yeah, GG's. Let's move on to the next game now. Alright, here's Jack-a-Box 125. So we're on Interchange here, actually a pretty good map, but we do skip it because it's long and it's my left side, so I'm less comfortable on it. And we get Moon Landing instead, which is a worse map, but I guess microing on it isn't as hard for me as Interchange on left side. Interchange on right side is like no problem for me, but it's just a matter of left or right. It's especially like depending on what device you use. Here I'm trying to find like the optimal spot to place a farm in, and I realize I'm being dumb and I could just place one here, which solves all of my problems. But yeah, I kind of forget to use a lightning early on to anti-stall the rounds. However, he does end up doing it for me. So that's pretty cool. You do want to anti-stall the rounds, make sure that they're as short as possible to keep the money in the game on both sides as low as possible. Since you're running the aggressive strategy with Heli Farm Cobra here, it's always better to go for the anti-stall, and of course as the passive strategy you should want to stall the rounds out. So that's basically how it goes. He does genetically enhance crops and gets up farms instead of heli, which is typically, sorry, my bad, what you should do if you like are running heli. You should use genetic early, but if you're not, you should probably save it for a facility. And it's just my opinion though. And then he reveals he has ninja, so I figure, okay, guess I'm just gonna offensive push rainbows early on. Since he greeted so hard, he doesn't have money to defend, and if he sells under eco nerf, well, he's just gonna be drained of all his money and I'm gonna end up winning, right? And he actually ends up selling under, well, not the eco nerf, he just ends up selling for full value. But the issue is that by this point in time, the balloons are so far in that he just dies. And yeah, that's it for Jack-a-Box. GG's. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, here's LL Scout a third time, I think now. So we're on Temple. This is actually a very, very interesting map. I like Temple a lot because for iPad it's pretty hard to micro on, but it's short enough. And also the micro spot is clean enough to where it actually leads to some very, very interesting games on both sides as well. It applies to both. It's kind of awkward to micro even on the right side because of like how far up the free space is. But yeah, overall I don't mind Temple at all. So yeah, it's basically like my view on this map, I suppose. Okay, so we do eco nerf him early because it's optimal against ninja. It's not optimal against heli though, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, post-commentary me remembers that this guy has heli. So yeah, I think that here I'm just gonna end up like going for the heli, and then realizing that he genetics early, and then wow, heli farm, oh my god, big reveal. So I'm guessing he is Cobra over here, and he does eco nerf. Because yeah, of course heli farm Cobra is more common than something like a heli farm ace, so I'm most likely guessing Cobra, right? And yeah, I'm spamming blacks. Of course, those are gonna push eventually if he lets them go through for long enough, and yeah, it does force a lightning out as a result. And yeah, I'm microing actually pretty fast for how far I have to drag my heli up on this map, so I'm pretty satisfied by that. And here I just end up going for the facility, and I'm about to upgrade my heli to back to heli farm, and then he eco nerfs, so I just upgrade the facility to valuable bananas instead. Make sure that I get the most money out of it while I can't sell my helis under eco nerf, because of course the sell price is reduced by 50% and you end up losing out on like all of your money. And of course classic 10% battery, can't micro that efficiently, but that's fine. Try to make sure to send rainbows in as soon as possible, because that really drains him to have to get up this Apache, and he barely gets it up in time. It's very, very close. And then he sells it instantly for a heli farm, so he just instantly like send rainbows back, and he's forced to get the Apache back up, which is very, very good for me. And he even ends up leaking 4 lives, so very, very close defense happening on his end here. He does offensive push me, so I decide to just go for the Apache instantly, and he sent me zebras, which I'm happy I Apache'd, but I could have just lightning them as well, and it would have been the same thing. That's why you send rainbows. It's because lightning does defend zebras, especially like double lightning. It does defend zebras for a very, very long time, but rainbows it just does not. And here I sent so many BFBs and Moabs, thanks to the outplay money that I just win. So yeah, GG's to our scout, and let's move on to the next game now. Alright, here's a guy with a bunch of like stars and asterisks rather and whatnot in his name, and he laughs at me. He's from Great Britain. That's very cool to see. He has negative prestige. He's lost more games than he's won. Says enough about his skill level, I suppose. And here we are on Concrete Alley, which I don't enjoy playing that much. So I figure, okay, guess I'll play Ninja, but no, I just end up choosing against it. And here I think, do I want to play a balloon power? Like something like a quick shot. And I just realized, no, this is not worth it. I'm just going to anti-stall with my lightning instead. And that's probably going to cover more options than something like a balloon power would. So yeah, that's what I up doing. I just instantly lightning as soon as all the reds from the AI came out. And then that allows me to anti-stall around very effectively and just send the pinks in super, super fast. Here I do lightning again, make sure that they get the anti-stall out of the way. And here he heals to me that he does have ninja. So, I mean, that's interesting, but he's already on like 10 lives, which is 8 lives, which is ridiculously low. And here I do genetic with an extra 0-0 farm, but I don't have enough money to actually get up the heli farm, so I just opt to send a few more blacks and then like prepare myself. He says well done. I assume that was supposed to be toxic because he thought, oh my god, he sold too early, he can't afford the heli farm. But all calculated as usual, and here he eco nerfs, so I figure, okay, I guess I'm gonna get my facility. I probably have the money, and I barely do, so I choose, since he's sending greens right here, to just go for the Razor Rotors, and then like here I'm fine, and he just ends up fully ecoing for some odd reason, which I don't really get, because now what happens is like this almost fully defense. It stalls out enough to where I can get like an extra heli, and then I just end up like microing here at the top, which is a pretty cringe micro spot, but it defends, and at the same time I end up heli microing successfully, so ultimately it all works out. And here I just get up the money to send him some regen rainbows. Since it's round 8, I can send a regen finally, so yeah, I just do that. And the surplus of regen rainbows is going to get to his defense eventually, and he's going to end up dying. So yeah, GG's to you. Pretty good attempt, I gotta say, but let's move on to the next one. Alright, so here's Schlubble on Puck. This is actually, okay, yeah, at this point, I'm top 16 global, top 6 prestige. See how it mattered? But yeah, he's German. He's 537 on global and negative on prestige, so he really hasn't played much this week. Can't say too much about the negative prestige there. It's not very indicative of his skill level. So yeah, it could just be a small sample size causing him to have more losses than wins. We don't know. He could be a very, very good player. But yeah, we just do the classic lightning anti-stall into earliest possible eco nerf because we always expect ninja. Since we are in the top clan, so people don't run a heli often. And here he does reveal the lightning, so I figure, okay, that's a typical heli move. Who possibly runs lightning with ninja, right? And then he reveals better soil, which you only ever run if you're running ninja, so I figure, okay, guess that's lightning ninja. Pretty bad play. But alright, I just end up microing hella. Micro goes decently hard, I suppose. Not that hard yet, but it's okay. Yeah, this is already a bit better for now, micro-wise. And then he does reveal ninja, so I did expect that much. And I just get up the facility and keep heli microing. And here he just ends up creating like super, super hard. So just eco nerf, go for the rush. And then he just thumbs downs and ice and rainbows, and I guess yeah, that's death every single time, or too hard of a drain for him to like survive later on. So then he just ends up disconnecting. Boom, there we go. I'm just gonna cut out to the win right here. GG's to Schlaball, another rage quit once again, and let's move on to the next game now. Alright, and here's Checo. So this guy has a lot, and I mean a lot of games played. Like, he's getting close to my amount of games played, which is kind of crazy. I've been playing this game for like almost 3 years now, which makes sense why I played so many games. But yeah, I guess when you play actively for 3 years straight, that's kind of bound to happen. On his end, he probably played like maybe, I don't know, a solid year or two, depends, maybe like even 3, depends how hard he's been playing. I haven't been like playing even that much. Just that I win games very, very fast, so I don't even spend like too many hours in a week getting this much. But yeah, here he does reveal ninja with price gouge, so I'd figure, okay, I guess I'm gonna save up my lightnings and save up my money so I can get up a republic and genetic that instead. That's why price gouging early just doesn't work. It's because the heli player can just do this, and then what, right? So like that's why you never like price gouge early. And here we're forced to micro at the bottom, which is very, very inconsistent. So you guys are probably not going to see world's greatest micro, but that's fine. And I figure, okay, you know what? He gave me enough money to actually start heli microing under price gouge. And that makes money, I think, ranging from minus 225 to plus 775. So on average, it's always worth it to do, because you're most often going to end up at an advantage money-wise from microing your heli. So yeah, I just end up going for the facility here since he's not creating at all. And I do get ready to send up some, what's it called? Some leads, because that always is useful. I do eco nerf because I figured he would get up the flash bomb before the ODS. So that was a pretty big waste, but it's not the end of the world. I can still come back from that one mistake, although playing perfectly is kind of needed if you want to win against Ninja Farm Ace with Heli Farm Cobra. It's by no means impossible, just difficult. So yeah, we get ready since we have the money already to send him some CMGs and stuff. And of course we lightning the yellows that he sends at us. Those pings are not that scary. I'm just going to go for this heli, razor rotors, and then go for a downdraft at the bottom, and we're chilling. Now we just send some regional leads on top of all those, like Bloons from the adjustment and this UMG, and he just damage boosts, because yeah, I expected damage boost, that's why I didn't, or at least some form of boost, which is why I didn't actually like go for any balloon rushes, because he was just going to boost them and I was going to end up sending UMGs later just to force boosts out, which is not like that worth it in Speed Bonanza. It is worth it, just not that worth it in comparison to sending CMGs way earlier. And I figure, okay, his only option is to like all out me with rainbows and pray that I don't get up the Apache or something. But of course, it's never going to happen. And here the CMG gets through. And guess what? Yet another rage quit. You can tell because he takes so long to like die when something clearly went for his screen. So yeah, GG's to Checo. Yet another rage quit once again in this video. Too many opponents rage quitting, bro. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. And here's 47. This guy has over 100 million medallions. Very experienced opponent. Has gotten big chests before. Definitely an ex-grinder of some sorts. And we are on Ghostly Coast right here. Very, very short map, which definitely favors Halifarm Cobra over anything else. Of course, the shorter the map is, the better Halifarm Cobra is going to be as a strategy. So yeah, we just go for the farm right here, classic farm start. He does go for the same start as me, so at least he knows what he's doing in that regard. And he does stop getting the bananas when I Econerf, which is also a good move, but then he collects some to go for a ninja and damage boost set, which I suppose is necessary because of how short this map is, so I can't blame him too much. And Econerfing the genetic is a very, very bad mistake, so he definitely did not play his early game right, which is going to cost him a lot, especially on this map. He's running the right powers, but has the wrong mindset over them. So yeah, I'm just like free to micro as much as I want here since he's on cooldown for his Econerf. I can just go as hard as I want, no restrictions whatsoever of watching out for the Econerf and not selling during it. So yeah, I just do that for a very, very long time and ready myself to send him some rainbows. He Econerfs for no reason, which doesn't do him much, and then I just lightning those yells that he's sending me. He damage boosts, but the rainbows already entirely went through, and we take the win 1 minute and 13 seconds in. GG's. And here is, I believe, our last opponent in Rags to Riches. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Those are two passive buttons, because if you made it this far, you know you probably enjoyed watching me play. So I mean, I would really appreciate it if you would press those two buttons to help me out a lot to get this video to more people and stuff. It ain't much effort on your end, but it helps me so much. So if you find my content entertaining, please consider it. Here we do go for the lightning anti-style and the classic early Econerf. We do not expect heli at all from this kind of player because he's on lower medallions. I don't think he knows the heli micro strategy at all because it's not like that known yet, or at least not intuitive whatsoever. So yeah, amongst new players, they don't tend to think of the heli stuff, which is why you always Econerf early. Here we do go for a heli micro about 38 seconds in, and we get the 5% battery remaining prompt, the classic at the end of each video. If you know, you know. It hasn't happened much in the past few videos, but it definitely is an old tradition of the channel. We do go for the offensive push 1 minute in, like 1 minute on the dot. That's crazy low amounts of time. And here he does reveal ace and damage boost. So I assume, if I'm not mistaken, this was Ninja Farm ace. Yep. So he just goes for the flash bomb as soon as he can to defend those threats. But at this point, I can just re-rush. So I figure, yeah, he's definitely dead there, because one ODS will not hold against infinite rainbows, and at this point, this exact thing is gonna happen. So yeah, GG's to Rags to Riches. Definitely enjoyed all of those playing all of those opponents here in this video. They made it very entertaining, and yeah, that's gonna be for today's video. Here quickly is the leaderboard. On global, on prestige, my final win streak for the day, 52. Not that big compared to most stream as I play, but definitely solid. So yeah, GG's to all the opponents I played this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you already know how to support me. You can like and subscribe. You can also leave a comment down in the comment section down below. That also helps. And if you want to talk to me or join my clan, whatever it is, you also have the link to my Discord server, which just recently reached 700 members, by the way. Super happy about that. Down in the description down below. So yeah, this is gonna be for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you already know how to support me. I suppose I'll be seeing you guys in the next one, and have a good one. Bye bye.